Hello everyone, my name is Marina Kolaric. I'm a counselor specializing in recovery from addiction. I'm a mindfulness coach, in particular mindfulness-based addiction recovery coach, and I'm also a compassionate inquiry practitioner. The co-founder of MBAR, or mindfulness-based addiction recovery, Valerie Mason-John, has this beautiful statement where she says, "Forget drugs, alcohol, sex, food. My thinking is my biggest addiction." And she calls it my stinking thinking. So I don't know about you, but I often imagine that if people could hear my thoughts, what would they think about me? And I know what my stink is telling me. My stink is telling me that I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not accomplished enough. I am not making enough money. I am unlovable. At times I'm a bad person who hurts others. I should do better. My stink always tells me also that I need other people that would help me actually feel complete and whole. My stink would tell me that I need substances in order to be cool, to be relaxed, to be sexy, to be authentic and genuinely myself. And it would also tell me that I'm so weird that if people would actually know me, they would probably reject me. So this is our stinking thinking. So a little bit about my story. I was born and I grew up in Yugoslavia, that in my early teens went through a severe civil war and kind of shrunk into a country called Serbia and Montenegro, that soon after became even smaller country, and today is just Serbia. I've never felt belonging and a genuine connection to my country, and I always felt more home any place but in Serbia. And the thing is actually that I really was never home with me, with myself. Also, since very early age, I have experienced extreme mood swings, and I remember being known as too emotional, too sensitive. The desire to avoid pain and discomfort was very strong and very known to me since very early age, since my childhood. I can say that my first escapism, how we often call it in addiction world, was actually other people. And when I was very little, I would spend every single moment outside on the streets with other people or at school. And even in my teenage age, I remember that I would always spend more time on the street than at home with my family. My mom used to say, "The street is raising you, Marina." I started drinking very early. I think I was about 11. I started smoking soon after. And then drugs kicked in close to the end of my high school. And that was mostly cocaine, ecstasy, and then speed later on. Now bear in mind though that I grew up in a country where even in that age, most of these behaviors, particularly drinking, was actually not only allowed, but I also want to say kind of normalized and completely supported, right? And so, in addition to all of that, to all of these behaviors, when I grew up, when I got older, sex and emotional intrigue and drama also became behaviors that would bring a certain release or even validation and acceptance. So I would also use these as a way to feel better and avoid things that I don't like. Leaving Serbia in my late 20s was probably one of, or the best decision that I ever made, because it gave me the opportunity to get clean and to get sober actually, and to drastically and dramatically change my life. However, before this actually change happened, this move to the United States brought several more years of suffering, deep sorrow, loneliness, pain, confusion, and active addiction. I have acted out in any way I possibly could. And When I think about it, it wasn't until I was introduced to Buddhism and mindfulness that I become aware actually how hollow and empty I was inside, and how I have been actually self-medicating for years in order to feel better and in order to survive. Mindfulness in Buddhism helped me get in touch with all of these core beliefs that I have been believing actually and carrying with myself through all my life for so many years. And my work from there on was actually to stop believing these things. As Valerie Mason-John says, STOP is the acronym for Stop Thinking Over Poop. So mindfulness and Buddhism were, for me personally, a life changer. Very soon also what happened is that I joined a 12-step recovery program that in America is very popular and very available everywhere. And so renouncing stinking thinking and believing my own thoughts was the first thing that I had to do. And then obviously abstinence from substances and abstinence from obsessive behaviors followed. And soon actually my recovery really started. Now, I simply had to learn to sit and just feel my pain, allow it to come to the surface, which is something that I've never done because I would self-medicate in order not to feel it. So all I can say is that it's been a bumpy road, not a comfortable or a perfect one, definitely. But I have been choosing my recovery over my using every day. And so what I can say is that my story is not that different from any others. It's not that special, probably. But my recovery is unique. And sharing this story is part of my purpose, and it certainly is part of my work. And so during my recovery, I have been introduced to many different modalities that are helpful for the healing and for the recovery of any kind, particularly recovery from addictions. One of these modalities is actually mindfulness-based addiction recovery course, or how we call it MBAR, short for the whole full name. So this course is an 8-week course co-founded in 2005 by Valerie Mason-John. Valerie is an award-winning author, inspirational public speaker. She's also an accredited mindfulness coach. And I had a privilege of meeting Valerie and participating in her Detox Your Heart retreat. And right from there on, I actually knew that this beautiful practice and this beautiful approach is something that I want to continue doing and that I also want to share with others in my work. So I have been teaching it since, through groups or through one-on-one counseling sessions. The course can be done in groups face-to-face, and it can also be done online. Currently, I am offering it online. And over the 8 weeks, we meet once a week on Zoom, always on the same day and always at the same time. And we go through different mindfulness exercises, through some theory, meditations, and we also do a lot of discussions and personal sharing in small, intimate groups. And so course includes weekly emails, recordings of all the meditations and exercises, also handouts, and it includes support and encouragement and really intimate and friendly online community. Maximum of people that are in the online course is preferably 8, where we can actually really feel the intimate atmosphere. And so in the course, you will learn to distinguish between your thoughts and feelings. You can learn to distinguish between your thoughts and facts. You will understand the vicious cycle of addiction, the early warning signs in the body, how to work with relapse, and in general, you can become more aware of your body, of your thoughts, and of your feelings, which will really just help you get to know yourself better, and with that, understand yourself and others better. In the next video, I will talk a little bit more about addiction, how we define addiction, obsessive compulsive behaviors, mindfulness, and in particular mindfulness-based addiction recovery course and how it is helpful. And yeah, that's for the next video. So thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.